Alright, okay, so this bloke's camping in the woods and it is a really shitty, horrible night. You know, it's blowing a gale and his tent's getting blown around and he's having trouble putting the tent up and all this sort of thing. After a few hours of restless, not so much sleep, more just lying under the damp canvas, it finally gives way and gets blown into a tree and bush and it gets all ripped up and torn to shreds. So this bloke's left out in the middle of nowhere. He's got nothing. His sleeping bag is sodden. His tent's ripped to shreds. He's got no food. And he's scared he's going to die of the elements. Then, as if by magic, he spots a light through the trees and he thinks, oh, I've been saved. So he follows the light and he gets there. It turns out to be this old farmhouse. So he knocks on the door and this massive burly farmer answers the door. What do you fucking want? So the bloke explains the situation to him and tells him that, you know, he's camping out in the woods and his tent's been blown down and, you know, he fears that he might die if he has to spend the night out here in this horrible storm. So the farmer takes pity on him and says, all right, mate, come on in. Takes him in, makes him a bowl of soup, sits him down by the fire, gives him some clean clothes. The farmer then turns to him and says, okay, mate, you can stay the night. However, there's one condition. You're bunking down on the floor in my daughter's bedroom and you're to lie on the floor. You are not to even think about getting into bed with her. All right, fair enough, the bloke thinks. You know, you're doing me a favour, you've taken me in, offered me a bit of hospitality, given me some food and some fresh clothes. I'm not going to take the piss. So the bloke goes up to bed, lays down on the bed that the farmer's provided for him, and you can see the silhouette of this farmer's daughter cast on the wall next to him. Now this bloke's got the horn. He's thinking, should I? So he finally gives in to temptation, crawls into bed with this young farmer's daughter. He thinks, well, I'm going to do this subtly. He thinks I'll wake her up with a little kiss. So he gets up to her lips and he just a little peck on her lips just to try and sort of tease her and entice her into the mood. She doesn't stir. So he thinks, okay, all right, I'll probe a little bit deeper. Sticks his tongue in, gives her a proper full-on snog. And then all this rice pudding's coming out of her mouth and he's thinking, hey, what? So he thinks, all right, she's not waking up with this. So he moves down to her breasts. He gently starts caressing and playing with her nipples. Decides to give it a little suck. Puts the nipple in his mouth. Gives it a little suck. All this fucking rice pudding's coming out. He's thinking, what the fuck? And this whole time, the farmer's daughter's just lay there. She's not moving. She's not saying. She's not even stirring. So he thinks, all right, no guts, no glory. So he goes for the gold, moves downstairs, gently opens her legs to find her ladies' area. He starts gently lapping, just giving it a little kiss, a little flick of the clit with his tongue. All this rice pudding starts coming out of her ladies' area and he's thinking, what the fuck is going on here? So by this time he's had enough. Crawls out of bed, defeated, goes back to sleep and wakes up in the morning. He goes down to breakfast and the farmer was there at the table, got a bowl of porridge for him. Said, how was your night's sleep last night, mate? He said, yeah, it was not too bad. Floor was a little bit uncomfortable, but you know, beggars can't be choosers and I really do appreciate your hospitality. Okay, the farmer says, no problem, thank you. You need a ride somewhere? He's like, yeah, I could do with a ride into town. Before we go, though, I just want to bring one thing up. I know you told me not to, the bloke says. I couldn't help it. I was so horny last night, I climbed into bed with your daughter. I thought I'd give her a little wake-up call with a quick kiss on the lips. Nothing, but all this rice pudding came out. Moved down to her breast, same again, nothing but rice pudding. Got down to her ladies' area, started having a lick down there. All this rice pudding was just pouring out of her. The farmer just sits there, ashen-faced for about 2 minutes, just looks at the bloke and says, that's not rice pudding. She's been dead for 2 years.